wave of trouble coming from China and heading our way. Today's stock market crash continued the roller coaster that has seen 40% wiped off shares in China in just 6 months. Shares were suspended and global malaise took hold around the world. Fear that the engine of growth for the global economy was stuttering rather than steaming. For the Chancellor, today's events meant reassessing Britain's position. He warned of a cocktail of serious threats encroaching on UK growth, especially from the Chinese meltdown.
We've got to take all the steps to make sure Britain is protected from whatever happens around the world.
As Shanghai lost 7%, the FTSE 100 slid 2% into the red, and oil hit a staggering 12-year low. There's no question that China's economy is slowing. The issue for the West is how that switch into economic first gear will ripple and destabilise the rest of the world.
We see a year where the risks are higher than they have been for some years.
The Chancellor's former advisor, now working for a fund that manages more money than the whole UK economy.
Well, what's going on in China clearly is a risk, but I think we need to take a step back from day-to-day moves in financial markets and think about what's really happening here. What's really happening is the Chinese economy is slowing down, has been for some time, and it's trying to manage a very difficult transition from an economy that's been based on debt and investment to one that's based on consumption. And that's a very difficult process to manage. It's often very bumpy, but it's in all our interest that they should manage that in the end, because that will be good for us.
Why is the Chancellor stoking up panic this morning about the world economy, about what's going on in China?
I think it's fair to warn about risks, certainly when stock markets are flashing red and news programmes like yours are focusing on it. I think that people want to look to their government to say, what does it mean for us?
He's not trying to create political cover for economic gloom here in the UK.
Well, I don't think that really works. Politicians may try to do that sometimes. I don't think that's what he's trying to do today, but I'm sure that you would see through that.
It's always a lot more convenient pointing at external factors. It's not me, Gov, it's China. But then again, if China's economy is really tanking, how Mr. Osborne spins the UK news is the least of our problems.
If you like, China was the kind of consumer or investor of last resort over the last few years. It kept things going when other countries were really too weak. Today, it's not obvious who can replace China. Traditionally, it was the US that played the role of consumer of last resort. It stopped doing that at the time of the financial crisis. China took over. But now, it's not obvious. So the danger is we have every country in the world trying to de-lever, to try to reduce debt, to try to get its own house in order. If everyone tries to do that simultaneously, you end up with a much weaker global economy.
With downgrades of UK growth already on the horizon, all eyes will now focus on the scale of shockwaves about to hit the world economy.